Fiona Woolf, Lord Mayor of the City of London. Is that the correct character?
The correct title is the Lord Mayor of London.
Yes.
It tends to cause confusion with Boris Johnson.
Yes, I can imagine.
But I regard
But you're a lot more attractive.
Yeah, we both have blonde hair, that's the trouble.
Yes, and he's still got all of his, hasn't he?
His job is to make sure that 32 local authorities work together to deliver a world-class capital city. I'm the ambassador, essentially for the whole of the UK-based services sector, wherever they are and whoever owns them, but with a particular focus on what the city is strong at, which is financial, professional and business services.
Absolutely. And I was, we were talking actually earlier, and I was thinking of what you were saying as well. And you were talking about, I think, the talent pool in the City of London, saying that there was a lot of talent that you could bring to bear in these new emerging countries. Is that what your task is, would you say?
It's not just talent, because obviously the community is hugely international. I think 52% of Londoners are actually not British.
It was, I was
proud
there
of that.
6 months ago, and I didn't hear English at all for about quite a while.
It's not just the talent, stunning though that is, and I would say that, wouldn't I? It's also the global experience, because London is a springboard, particularly for Europe, Middle East and Africa. But actually, people, like me, routinely live on the back of an aeroplane and bring to bear global experience, particularly of doing big project financings, infrastructure development, using experience we've got all over from everywhere, but for a kind of a made in Kenya solution, if you like.
So what was the aim of this visit, and what have been the successes behind it? I've seen, for example, lots of collaboration with the London Stock Exchange. The Nairobi Securities Exchange, I think, is doing a lot of collaboration with them. I think you're doing something tomorrow. And of course, if you look at our stock exchange, 50% is owned by UK Inc., via Diageo and Safaricom. So it's a very close connection.
It's a very deep and close connection. I think that we feel there's a new wave, maybe new products and services, because actually we're in a new normal. And we've got...
What's the new normal for you?
Well, the new normal for me is kind of around what Paul Polman of Unilever would call the triple bottom line. It's about people, planet and profit. Now, I'm an energy lawyer, so we're...
Is that your background, oil and gas?
Electricity. Very important as water, holds social development back as much as economic development back. And so you're looking at security of supply, decarbonisation, as well as clean energy. So you've got to pay attention to the environment. There's a big movement to create new types of financing for the long term. A lot of collaboration going on in the city, which is going out all over the world, because you can't do the old sort of project financing with long-term debt, because the amount of capital you'd have to hold behind it, but it wouldn't be sustainable under Basel. So it's a great moment for capital markets, as well as derivatives, private equity, all coming together to create new hybrid models, new debt market instruments coming up, putting Islamic finance in the mix.
I heard what you said. That was very interesting, the point you made.
We use Sukuks for the financing of the Olympic Park, for example. So that's really
so you're bringing more innovation and experience.
Exactly. And also enable the economies of Africa to leapfrog some of the the starting stages that we all had to go through.
Do you believe this is a leapfrog moment for Africa?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that Africa can draw on the fact that they're not alone. They don't have to do everything for themselves, and people want to help. Not that they want to compete. I'm often asked if I worry about Nairobi developing as a financial centre, that it might compete with London. I think what we're doing is to grow the cake, grow the economies.
It's complementary.
They're complementary. If Nairobi didn't exist, we'd have to invent it.
That's a thought.
Whereas London is essentially a truly international place where people come together because they're within walking distance of each other. We have this extraordinary cluster effect. My delegation reflects a cluster, different disciplines, different types of investment strategies, but looking for opportunities.
And what opportunities are your people seeing? You've been here about 8-9 days in Africa, I think. What's exciting them most of all?
Well, obviously the two big ones are energy and infrastructure.
And of course in energy we've had Tullow at the forefront really, and a lot
Exactly. But to get that oil out and to let the project deliver for Kenya and its people, it's going to need infrastructure to get it out, and access to markets and finance. But road infrastructure is a big one in Kenya, obviously. It's a big one everywhere. It's a big one everywhere. And electricity. And lots of people, of course, focus on power generation and renewables because that's where the triple bottom line comes in. What about distribution networks? We have to get it to our houses, and they always need strengthening because we're always using more of it.
No, sure. Being a British Kenyan, of course, I'm very excited by you being here and by this new reinvigorated relationship, because it's such a long one and it's been such a mutually beneficial one. My wife attended your session earlier and she said it was extremely empowering. And is that part of your agenda too, women's empowerment? I think you had a forum earlier in the day.
Yeah, it was fantastically energizing. For me,
yeah,
absolutely. They were inspiring young women. I have to say that, yes, Kenya is safe in their hands.
Yes.
I very much chose to put diversity and inclusion, whether it's women or whether it's anybody else, disabled, black, minority, ethnic, whoever, at the front of my agenda because I thought it was an opportunity. We are actually still struggling to get women and particularly talented black people, minority ethnic people, and where are the disabled at the top of our organisations. I mean, it's one thing to work on women on boards, and I'm very supportive of rattling the cages of the...
There isn't a quota system in the UK, is
there?
there?
No, there isn't. And actually, I think the women are ambivalent about that. And for me, I'm not sure that quotas will address the underlying causes of what's holding them back. But the statistic that I did have to confront was when you look at how many women there are in top executive positions, like FDs, chief executives, chief operating officers.
What's the percentage that you saw?
7.2%.
Is that all?
It's not very good in the 21st century.
Not at all.
So I felt that I've been working on this agenda for years, 30 years or so, and you think that you're on the crest of a wave and it's going to go all the way up the beach and then it sort of slides down. So I've gathered, originally 34 organisations, now about 60, to collaborate together, to put more energy into it, share their experience, but above all, I think to get the attention of the people who are the keepers of the talent pipeline, the big middle, actually to really give it the attention it deserves and push the wave up the beach now.
No, it's fantastic and well done, and thank you so much for giving me the time today, and we wish you all the best in this visit and in the future.
Well, thank you, but I think Kenya's success will be my success. Absolutely. And I would love to see this new energy.
And we've got so many constituencies. I think the High Commissioner mentioned 200,000 Kenyans in the UK.
We're very blessed with having them.
And vice versa. I mean, we've got, I think, 30,000 British passport holders here as well.
Yes.
Deep relations, new relations like remittances, which didn't exist before.
Yes, that's terrific. Yeah. So, yes, but there's no room for complacency and resting on past relationships.
You've just, I saw two final things actually. You said $100 million of deals that you've signed on this visit, is that correct?
That's right.
Prudential
That's
is
right.
25?
Yes,
Yes.
and 4,000 jobs they're creating.
Wow. And I just spoke to him before you, and he said, I want to send out an army of Prudential agents. And I was remembering those old adverts from the man from the Pru. And I just thought, what is everyone going to make of that?
It is such an iconic name, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes.
So $100 million, and then beyond that, what would you like to see come out of it?
Well, I think I would like to see a serious amount of infrastructure being built and using more modern and innovative public-private partnership techniques. Because infrastructure will create jobs as well as growth, and it's the
job creation is a big challenge.
Yeah,
so many young people.
Exactly. There isn't a country where it isn't a challenge, but it's a particular challenge here. And with that, actually, we have strong educational links, but we're all struggling with a skills shortage at the sort of postgraduate, sort of mid-level in organisations.
Yes.
And I think that's where, you know, tomorrow's signing of the MOU with the CMA and the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment. It's a fantastic way of sort of unlocking this talent, this talent gap.
I saw a tweet, and I don't know whether it was from you, but it was today, and saying that I'm lucky. It was something like that, that you are lucky and you believe you can put yourself in the right place.
Well, no, my motto in life, and I often give this to women, is get lucky and say yes.
That's right. That's what I heard.
So I'm very lucky to be in Kenya just at this moment.
And we're lucky to have you here today with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure. I think you've got...